This is a massive development. Hawks fans, I have a new report that has just come out, and I'm telling you, by the time I get done with this report, all Hawks fans should have a smile on their face and not looking surprised like this gentleman right here. Welcome back to Hawks Digest, everyone. I am Chris Tipmore. Go ahead and leave those shoes by the door as you get ready for what's in store in this report right here. Guys, we know we've been going through trade rumors. The trade deadline is getting closer and closer. Today is the 22nd. The February 5th trade deadline is only 2 weeks away. But we have some news that I'm going to share with you guys. But before I get into that, please, by all means, allow me to get into this. Before we get into the news today, this video is brought to you by Kalshi. When you download Kalshi using the link below, make sure you're entering code DIGESTNBA. That is Digest NBA, and you'll get 20 when you trade your first 100. Now, Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the US, and you can trade yes or no in real life events, sports, elections, pretty much anything. And they have you covered in all 50 states. Yes, that's including the state of Georgia. And guys, you can really trade on different outcomes, including this outcome right here. Right now, the New England Patriots are scheduled to have 70% chance of winning the AFC Championship game. But if you go with the Denver Broncos with that small 31% chance, and if you put 20 bucks on them, you could possibly win $61 just off of taking a chance on the Denver Broncos possibly upsetting the New England Patriots. It's using Kalshi is just another genuinely smart way to use your sports knowledge, and you can also close positions whenever you want. Again, download Kalshi, use the link in the description, and don't you forget to make sure you put in Digest NBA, and you'll get the $20 bonus. And thank you again to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the news. Yes, indeed. Like I said, Digest NBA, and you can go ahead and get that 20 off when you get trade your first 100. But this is evolving around, yes, Hawks fans, Anthony Davis. You see him hurt holding his hand right there, and there is obviously a reason for that. Anthony Davis is currently out with a left hand ligament injury and is expected to be reevaluated in February. I'll get to that specific date in 1 second. But again, he suffered the ligament damage to his left hand back on January 8th, 2026 against the Utah Jazz. For those who've been following the channel, we did cover that and show exactly what happened with him and Lauri Markkanen kind of crashing into each other. And the first reports were saying that came out by Shams that he was going to need surgery. Well, he went and had a second opinion in LA, and of course, the second opinion determined that surgery was not needed and it avoided a potentially season ending scenario and also absolutely killing any chance of Anthony Davis being traded. Now, what was the recent things that was said about Anthony Davis? I will let you guys know that with no problem because it's building right into the new points. His current injury situation has complicated trade talks, but his agent, Rich Paul, y'all know who Rich Paul is, he has reportedly informed the Maverick, that Anthony Davis wants to be traded by the deadline. Really? By next week. But the Mavericks are reportedly listening to offers from the Atlanta Hawks and the Toronto Raptors. Ha ha ha. But I have something to add to that because as of today, we have new information regarding Anthony Davis. It is from Jake Fischer. Him and Mark Stein, they have their own thing going to where those guys are tag team partners and they're really running the NBA when it comes to news. And Jake has this to say: in recent days, Atlanta, previously described as one of Anthony Davis' most ardent suitors, enthusiastic as well, but one of their suitors have signaled that they are no longer involved in significant talks with the Mavericks. Again, they have signaled that they no longer are involved in significant trade talks with the Mavericks. So, yes, Hawks fans, Anthony Davis is finally off our board. Finally, you said in order to get one of these Hawks jerseys, you got to stay healthy. The Hawks have officially said that there is professional and casual dress only, no street clothes. So I am so happy about this, Hawks fans, because again, I didn't feel like that it was something that the Atlanta Hawks needed to pursue in Anthony Davis. And another reason why is because he will be reevaluated, and he is expected to be reevaluated on February 19th, 2026. That's well past the deadline, okay? Well past the deadline. And the Atlanta Hawks, I feel like, should not entertain that anyway. But could the Atlanta Hawks could be pivoting away from Anthony Davis? What's on the mind of our GM, Onsi Saleh? Could he be pivoting like the report that I came out with about Zach Lowe saying that the Atlanta Hawks are keeping their assets close just in case Giannis becomes available? Could they be doing that? Who knows? Me personally, again, I still think that the Atlanta Hawks should just roll with what they got unless they can find a center that makes sense. Roll what you got and allow these guys to grow together and build that cohesion together once because you got Nickeil Alexander Walker. He has found new life in Atlanta. You also have Onyeka Okongwu, who has improved his shooting and one of the best three-point shooters on the team. Yes, Onyeka Okongwu. And then you also look at it at Jalen Johnson still emerging and stepping into his role as the number one guy for the Atlanta Hawks. So again, you can still build and have something ready and more fresh going into next year. Hopefully, maybe Zach will be a part of that as well. Hopefully, Dyson can work on some things in the offseason, but continue just to build on his game. Because I don't see us really necessarily right now as a championship contender, but you never know, I guess. But either way it goes, the Atlanta Hawks should use the rest of this season as for progression. I'm glad that Anthony Davis is no longer on the table. And honestly, that's just a situation that the Atlanta Hawks really shouldn't even have been trying to address anyway. Yes, AD all-star, all-world talent, but always injured, always unavailable. And the more and more he plays, or more and more, should I say, his career goes on, each year, the numbers as far as games played goes down. We do not need that, Hawks fans. So, again, guys, that's my quick report about Mr. Anthony Davis. No longer on the Hawks' radar. Once upon a time, yes, we were maybe one of the most enthusiastic suitors for Anthony Davis, but now we're gonna leave that to Toronto or Dallas or whomever else want to pursue Mr. Street Clothes himself. As for me, I am Chris Tipmore. This has been a quick Hawks update report. And before I get out of here, I will give you this. Next game is Friday against the Phoenix Suns. I know we talked about that, but also you're looking at another home game, 4-game stretch. The next 4 games, all at home for the Atlanta Hawks against Phoenix, Indiana, Houston, and the Utah Jazz. The Atlanta Hawks, it would be, first of all, having those home games. Fans, please show up for this team because they need it, okay? They need it. We're trying to see if we can go on a little streak. You never know, maybe get hot at the right time and possibly can see where we can go and then build off from there. But it all starts now and it all starts here. So again, Phoenix, Indiana, Houston, and Utah all coming to State Farm Arena looking for a win, and we can't allow them to have that. Until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you all, and to you all, I'll holler.